Hi everyone. Today our topic is manufacture of pharmaceutical aerosols. If you see the picture, we can easily understood how to manufacture of aerosols. First of all, we want a empty can. After we are adding product. After that, we are fitting valve, and next step is add propellant, and finally fit activator. So next, how to manufacture a pharmaceutical aerosols. Nowadays we have different types of techniques and different types of apparatus, but mainly we have three main apparatus to manufacture a pharmaceutical aerosols. That are, first one is pressure filling apparatus, second one is cold filling apparatus, third one is compressed gas filling apparatus. Now we will check how to we are using these three type of apparatus. The first one, pressure filling apparatus. It consists of a pressure burette capable of metering small volumes of liquefied gas into the aerosol container under pressure. Propellant is added through an inlet valve located at the bottom or top of the pressure burette. The propellant is allowed to flow with its own vapor pressure in the container through aerosol valve. The trapped air escapes out from the upper valve. The propellant stops flowing when the pressure of burette and container becomes equal. If further propellant is to be added, a hose like rubber pipe leading to a cylinder of nitrogen is attached to the upper valve. The pressure exerted by nitrogen helps in the flow of the propellant into the container. Another pressure filling device makes use of piston arrangement and is capable of maintaining positive pressure. This type of device cannot be used for filling inhalation aerosols which have metered valves. So next, coming to procedure, this method involves filling of the concentrate into the container at the room temperature. Then the valve is placed in the container and crimped. Through the opening of the valve, the propellant are added, or it can be added under the cap. Since the opening of the valve are smaller in size ranging from 0.018 to 0.030 inches. So this is the ranges of valve. It limits the production and the process becomes slow. But with the use of rotary filling machines and newer filling heads where the propellants are filled through valve stem, the production rate is increased. The trapped air in the container and air present in head space is removed before filling the propellant to protect the products from getting adversely affected. Here the various units used in pressure filling line are arranged in the following order. First, unscrambler, then it will go air cleaner, after concentrate filler, after that valve placer, next purger, next one is valve crimper, next it will go to propellant filler, next water bath, after that it will go labeling section, after coder, and finally packing table. Purger and vacuum crimper and pressure filler are replaced with a single unit if filling is carried by under the cap method. Next we will discuss about advantages of pressure filling and disadvantages. First of all, we will check advantages. Solutions, emulsions, suspensions can be filled by this method as chilling does not occur. Contamination due to moisture is less. High production speed can be achieved. So loss of propellant is less. So coming to disadvantages, certain types of metering valves can be handled only by the cold filling process or through use of an under the cap filler and valve crimper. So process is slower than cold filling method. Next apparatus is cold filling apparatus. It consists of an insulated box fitted with copper tubings, and the tubings are coiled to increase the area exposed to cooling. The insulated box should be filled with dry ice or acetone prior to use. The apparatus can be operated with or without metered valves. Hydrocarbon propellant cannot be filled into aerosol containers using this apparatus because large amount of propellant escapes out and vaporizes. This may lead to a formation of an explosive mixture. Fluorocarbon vapors do not form any explosive or flammable mixture through their vapors are heavier than air. Next, procedure. Non-aqueous products and products which can withstand lower temperatures or minus 40 degree Fahrenheit are used in this method. The product concentrate is chilled to a temperature of minus 40 degree Fahrenheit and filled into already chilled container. Then the chilled propellant is added completely in one or two stages depending on the amount. Another method is to chill both the product concentrate and propellant in a separate pressure vessels to minus 40 degree Fahrenheit and then filling them into the container. The valves is placed and crimped on the container. Then test for leakage and strength of container is carried out by passing container into a heated water bath where the contents of the container are heated to 130 degree Fahrenheit. After these containers are air dried and capped and labeled. Various units used in cold filling methods that are unscrambler, next it will go air cleaner, after that concentrate filler, next propellant filler, next it will go to valve placer, next valve crimper and water bath, and next it will go to labeling section, and finally coder and packing table. The cold filling method is no longer being used as it has been replaced by pressure filling methods. Here also we have advantages and disadvantages. Coming to advantage, it is easy process. Coming to disadvantages, it is aqueous products, emulsions and those products adversely affected by cold temperature cannot be filled by this method. Next, third one, compressed gas filling apparatus. Compressed gases have high pressure, hence a pressure reducing valve is required. The apparatus consists of delivery gauge, a flexible hose pipe which can withstand 150 pounds per square inch. Gauge pressure is attached to the delivery gauge along with the filling head. A flow indicator is also present in specialized equipments. The next, coming for procedure, this product concentrate is filled into the container, valve is placed and crimped on the container. With the help of vacuum pump, the air is removed from the container. Filling head is put in the opening of the valve and the valve is depressed and the gas is allowed to flow into the container. The gas stops flowing if the delivery pressure and the pressure within the container become equal. Carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide is used if more amount of gas is required. High solubility of the gas in the product can be achieved by shaking the container manually or with the help of mechanical shakers. Next, the main important thing in pharmaceutical aerosols that is quality control tests. That includes propellants, valves, activators and dip tubes, containers, weight checking, leak testing, and finally spray testing. This test will help a good manufacturing aerosols. The first test is propellants. Vapor pressure and density of the propellant are determined and compared with specification sheet. Here we have mainly two parameters, that is identification and second one is purity and acceptability. In identification, we are tested by gas chromatography and IR spectroscopy. In purity and acceptability, we are going to test moisture, halogen, non-volatile residue determination. Next quality control test is valves, actuators and drip tubes. Sampling is done according to standard procedure as found in military standards, that is MIL STD 105D. So how to use this MIL STD 105D is, so first the determine lot size, then they determine the inspection level. After that, review the table in MIL standard 105E. The table provides the sample size and accept and reject criteria, and then select sample from the lot, and finally inspect the pots. So these are the standard MIL STD 105D data sheet. For metered dose aerosol valves, test methods were developed by Aerosol Specifications Committee, Industrial Pharmaceutical Technology Section, Academy of Pharmaceutical Sciences. The objective of this test is to determine magnitude of valve delivery and degree of uniformity between individual valves. Standard test solutions were proposed to rule out variation in valve delivery. Here in this table, they are given test solutions that are isopropyl myristate, dichloro difluoromethane, dichlorotetrafluoroethane, trichloromonofluoromethane alcohol as per USP, and specific gravity at 25 degree centigrade. So these are the different test solutions is available. Test solution A, test solution B, and test solution C. So how they are doing this procedure, we can check it out. The testing procedure is take 25 valves and place on containers filled with specific test solution. Activator with 0.020 inch orifice is attached. Temperature is minus 25 plus or minus 1 degree centigrade. Valves is activated to fullest extent for 2 seconds and wait. Again, the valve is activated for 2 seconds and wait. Difference between them represents delivery in mg. Repeat this for total of 2 individual deliveries from each of 25 test units. So formula is volume delivery per activation in microliters is equal to individual delivery weight in mg upon specific gravity of test solutions. Here valve acceptance criteria is there. So deliveries is 54 microliter or less, 55 to 200 microliters. So limits are plus or minus 15% for 54 microliters. So plus or minus 10% is limit for 55 to 200 microliters. The 50 individual deliveries, if 4 or more are outside the limits, is valve is are rejected. If 3 deliveries are outside limits, another 25 valves are tested. Lot is rejected if more than one delivery is outside the specifications. If 2 deliveries from one valve are beyond limits, another 25 valves are rejected. So lot is rejected if more than one delivery is outside specification. Next, coming for containers. Containers are examined for defects in lining. Quality control aspects includes degree of conductivity of electric current as measure of exposed metals. So glass containers examined for flaws. Next, fourth one is weight checking. Weight checking is done by periodically adding to the filling line tiered empty aerosols container, which after filling with concentrate are removed and weighed. Same procedure is used for checking weight of propellants being added. Next, fifth one is leak testing. It is a means of checking crimping of the valve and detect the defective containers due to leakage is done by measuring the cream's dimensions and comparing. Final testing of valve closure is done by passing the filled containers through the water bath. The final test is spray testing. Most pharmaceutical aerosols are 100% spray tested. This serves to clear the dip tube of pure propellant and pure concentrate, to check for defects in valves and spray pattern. In next class we will discuss about evaluation test. Thank you.